Hello, men. Good to see you. In Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5, Paul makes a very counterintuitive declaration. He is telling us that we can glory and literally boast in our distress, our tribulation, our afflictions. Well, how can this be? Let's go ahead and read through these verses and then analyze them briefly, and I think the answer will become very clear for us. So it starts off, and not only that meaning that we have access to God from verse 2, but we also glory or boast in tribulations, meaning afflictions, persecutions, sufferings, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance or endurance or steadfastness, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now, hope does not disappoint, meaning it doesn't make us embarrassed, because the love of God has been poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit who was given to us by God. Well, these verses need to be read in context of verses 1 and 2. Verse 1 tells us that we're justified by faith and that therefore we have peace with God. And verse 2 says that as a result, we have access to God. Well, when is access to God important? When is our need for God most acute? Well, I would submit it's when we're being tried, when we're suffering, when we have affliction, when we're being persecuted. That's when we need God the most. And perhaps we go through things that we might not otherwise be able to endure. It's certainly true that we can see people around us who struggle, have things happen negatively in their lives, and they fall apart. But it should not be so with us men. We should be looking to God. We should be realizing that there's going to be times in life when we just don't know how we can make it through. But with God, we can. And that's what He wants. In those times, He wants us to come to Him for peace and for strength and for wisdom and everything that we need to endure. Will we still have pain? Yes. But we know we can make it through. We have that hope, meaning that certain expectation that at the end of the day, we are going to be with our loving Father in a place where there is no more pain, no more sorrow, and no more suffering. A good example of this is Job. Job went through it. Job didn't like what he had to go through. But not only did he endure it, he trusted in the Lord. He went to God. He cried out to God. And at the end, Job was restored. And yes, Job received back a new family, new health, and new wealth. But what was Job's reward really? Wasn't it the character that was developed in Job? Wasn't it that Job became a new, stronger, more steadfast man? A closer relationship with God as a result of all this? I'm sure that's true. And so it can be true with us men. So let's look unto the Lord. Let's look to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And so until I see you again, may the Lord richly bless you, my brothers.